So loads of new stuff from GW today, including a, of course, much needed Space Marine Lieutenant, and something that I'm really excited about. But let's take it from the top. So the first thing they showed off are some more Space Marines. Who would have thought? And they put it into something they called the Strike Force Augustus. So it sounds a little bit like Augustus, but Augustus. And it says here it's a ceramite fist ready to pulverize whichever foes they've thrown against. This box set consists of 2 new heavily armed Space Marine kits that can be used by any chapter, rounded out with a new customizable lieutenant and 5 heavy intercessors. So I think it's really awesome we got a new lieutenant because, I mean, they were so short on it. So let's first look at the Dreadnought. It says here it's the new Brutalis Dreadnought. I like that name, Brutalis. With twin Icarus Iron Hill heavy stubbers, heavy bolters, and bolt rifles. It's a terror in melee, handing out unnecessarily firm handshakes with its Brutalis fists and claws. This I like. This is cool. I mean, I like big chunky models, and you know, especially big armor plates where you can do all sorts of cool things painting wise. So this is right up my alley. I really like this, and it looks like it's just going to. I mean, does it even need to use the claws? I wonder. It looks like it'll just. I mean, it could just sit on you, and you'd be like squashed. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that, and I like it's called a Brutalis, right? That sounds great. Okay, and then it says here, while the Dreadnought cannonballs into enemy lines, the Desolation Squad provides devastating support barrages with their indirect fire Castellan launchers and a choice of Super Frag or Super Crack rocket launchers. Until now, long-range heavy support has been missing from the Primaris infantry arsenal. They are really silly. I mean, if they are like genuinely trying to make these look frightening, I don't really think they succeeded. They look so silly. I mean, I'm all for it. And I mean, if I could get some of these for my orcs, that would be cool. Because, I mean, big, goofy weapon, missile launchers, rocket thingies would be very fun for the orcs. It looks a little bit silly. Also, I don't really understand the pose on this guy here on the right. He looks like he's a tiny bit sort of. What am I even doing here? You know what? Oh, is this? It looks frightening, or this looks cold or something. I don't know. He looks a little bit unsure of what to do with himself. That might just be the angle, though. It probably looks different from another perspective. Oh my god, these are just yeah. This is silly. I mean, it's fun because it's silly. But I don't think they look frightening. I have to say, not in the least. But I think they look fun. I also imagine that these are some models that perhaps will have people either loving them or hating them because they're so over the top. I kind of like them. And then leading them is a new Primaris Lieutenant. The most flexible Lieutenant kit we've made to date, this version unlocks a wide variety of build options, including the much requested Power Fist. Yeah, so a Power Fist is always cool, but I mean, a new Lieutenant, it's a joke I think now that we just have so many lieutenants. But it's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a new model, even if it is the new Space Marine Lieutenant. Then next up we have some more stuff for 40k, and this is called Wrath of the Soulforged King. And so here we have Vashtor, the Archifane, who is going to, well, basically I think try to destroy the home of the Dark Angels. So it's a new battle box, and it looks really cool because I have a Chaos Space Marine army, and I really want this Ashtor model. I think he looks so cool. It would just be. I mean, he is just weird and off and gross, and yeah, I think it would be such a fun painting project. So I really want this guy. It says here, Vashtor draws hordes of mortal worshippers with him to breach the fortress and its wards, alongside writhing demon engines empowered by the Soul Forge that serves as the seat of his power. In this box you'll get Vashtorr, 10 cultists, 2 obliterators, and a venom crawler. So I haven't played a single game actually with my my Chaos Space Marine army yet. It's not big enough yet. But I already actually have 2 obliterators and a venom crawler painted up. I don't have any cultists though, so I don't really know if this would be like if this would make sense. Do you need more than 2 obliterators and more than 1 venom crawler? I mean, if you do, and if it could, you know, actually be useful, then I'll probably get this half of the box. Then we have Azrael, who has mustered the Dark Angels and rallied the defense. And the set comes with Azrael himself, as well as 5 Deathwing Terminators and 10 Space Marine Intercessors plus 2 Dark Angels Primaris upgrade sprues. Yeah, so that's cool. I look forward to this. Yeah, I don't need the Dark Angels. I don't have a Space Marine army, but I would love the Chaos Space Marine stuff. Then we have something for Warhammer Underworlds, and it's called Gnarlwood Grisel's Arenae. Not Arena, Arenae, apparently. Okay. So this is a war band for Underworlds, and these are of course Daughters of Khaine. I think they quite like making Daughters of Khaine war bands. I believe they have had several, at least one where they had like some Shadow Stalkers or something. But these are Arena Gladiators. So this, I mean, it fits really well with the Daughters of Khaine, of course. Okay, I mean, I like the poses. They're very dynamic, and I think they fit in really well with the whole Daughters of Khaine scheme and the gladiator thing. I'm not quite sure if I like the masks here. Is it this one over here on the left? Is she sort of sticking out her her tongue in mask form? I'm not quite sure. I mean, the masks are very stylistic, which is cool, but on the other hand, I'm not quite sure. I like to have included a gladiator over here on the right with a net and sort of a spear, because that's very that goes actually back to the original gladiator combats you had in ancient Rome. For instance, you would have certain styles of gladiators, and one of them would be a guy with a net, and I believe he had a trifork. But this just reminds me of that, which I like. I'm like, what? I would like to see this one on the left up, like a 360 spin, because I'm actually not quite sure. Doesn't she have any arms, or can't you? Is it just that you can't see them? I'm not quite sure. Well, they look cool, very dynamic. I've never played Underworld, so I'm not hugely into the whole thing with the cards and stuff. But yeah, it's always nice to see more stuff, and I like Daughters of Khaine, and of course I also have a Daughters of Khaine army. So yeah, that's great. And then we get to the thing that has me, I think, actually most excited, which is new stuff for Seraphon. I love Seraphon. I have a Seraphon army, which is actually my second Seraphon army. I had one that I played a whole bunch, then I sold it off because I wanted to start a new Seraphon army and, you know, paint it in a completely different style. And I have been really looking forward to new Seraphon stuff, so I'm so excited about this. Okay, a new Slan Starmaster spawns alongside fresh Seraphon. Awesome. Yeah, so here we have the new Slan, and I think he looks really great. I have been hoping that we would get a new Slan, because the old Slan model is of course in resin and fine cast, and it's just, I mean, it's just showing its age, particularly alongside the new Lord Croak model that came out a year or two ago, which is very cool and dynamic, and so the old Slan model just looked, well, kind of not cool by comparison. I think this is actually really nice. I was wondering why they hadn't just included like both a Croak and a Slan model in the new kit, and then you could just use it as both. But I suppose it makes sense that the Lord Croak model has a much more elaborate throne and stuff, while this is still, you know, cool and very decorated, and it looks fancy, but it doesn't look as fancy, which makes sense as Lord Croak is sort of the supreme wizard of the Seraphon. So this, yeah, this looks really cool. This looks really cool. definitely. It says here, the Seraphon operate under the command of ancient amphibian arcanists known as Slant Starmasters, sorcerous servants of the Old Ones themselves. Such prodigious power needs a mighty miniature to match, and the new sculpt is a truly epic centerpiece to your League of Lizards. Yeah, definitely. I also like the sort of, is it a pet albino miniature skink he's got there? I mean, every time they include sort of pet stuff, that always looks great. Yeah, this I look forward to a lot. Absolutely. It says here, seated on an exquisitely carved and levitating stone throne, the new Mage Lord comes with a range of arcane artifacts, ancient accessories, and even 2 different skink attendants. Okay, so it's not a pet, it's an attendant. There you go. I like these. I like these a lot. Yeah. Then it says here, riding ahead of this thaumaturgical toad are a totally new breed of Seraphon cavalry. Yes, because we needed new Seraphon cavalry. The Saurus cavalry that we have is just, they just look derpy. They're not, no. But I would love to include some cavalry in my Seraphon army. I just haven't because I really dislike the models. So, new cavalry. The nimble and deadly Raptidons. Okay, so like a Velociraptor or something. The new kit has options to build the javelin-hurling Raptidon hunters and melee-focused Raptidon chargers. Okay, cool. So it's a dual kit. Nice. Look at these. Oh, they're dinos with feathers. Yes, that is cool. Yes. Yeah. Dinos with feathers. I love them. Oh, they look so silly. And they look, I mean, yeah. Yes, please. More, yes. And they look very, very fast as well. Which I hope they are, because that would make so much sense, because the skinks are, fast in and of themselves, and then if they have these raptors, yeah, I mean, it would stand to reason that they would be even faster. I really like them. They're like sort of chicken turkey velociraptors. Yeah, they're so cool. Oh, look at this, and he's got a banner and everything. I don't exactly know what are they doing with the like the face of the skink itself. It looks like he's sort of wrinkling his nose. Is that a new look they're going to be having for skink models? I don't know. Yeah. Oh well. Never mind. And they've got new shields and stuff. And, they just look so cool. And imagine what you could do with these, with all sorts of crazy colors. I mean, they are feathered dinos. You can paint them any which way you want. These are going to be such a fun project. And he's got a horn. I wonder how big the unit size is. Like, are they coming in sets of 5 or 3 or 10? I mean, so there was this one guy here. I don't know. 5, 10, who knows? Okay, so it says here, these lightning-fast and unnervingly intelligent reptiles are guided along the enemy's flanks by cunning skink riders who use their javelins to expose weak points for the Raptidon chargers to exploit, laying into the foe with relics taken from the vaults of the Old One. By cunning skink... Okay. Oh, these look amazing. Look at these. Oh, and I like the skink rider here. He must be some sort of leader, right? Looks so cool with the feathers and the sort of helmety thing and stuff. I want these. I want these very, very much. Okay, and then it says here, behind a wave of swift-clawed cavaliers stalk the Saurus Warriors. Yeah, new Saurus Warriors. These cold-blooded cohorts remain the scaly backbone of every Seraphon army, and they've also benefited from some serious luxury time in the spawning pools. Yay! Look at these! Oh man! Oh, I'm sorry if I shouted. Oh, these look cool. They remind me so much of the warrior that was included in the Saurus warrior that was included in a warband. I believe it was from Underworlds, and he just looked awesome. And I was, you could make, the entire Saurus warrior line like this, and they did. This is exactly like that. This is so cool. Look at how beefy they are. I really hope when they get new rules, if they do, I think they will get new rules now that they have these fancy new models. I really hope they will get bumped to 2 wounds per model, because right now they only have 1, and beefy models such as these, they deserve 2 wounds per model, so they're not as easy to kill as they are right now. Ah, look at these. And I mean, they still fit so well with the overall theme and aesthetic of the Seraphon. They sort of have the same but not same kind of banners, and they still have like a guy with a drum, and they have the scales, and they have like fancy shields, and I think they fit in really, really well. They are just, well, they're just a more fancy, more chunky version of the Seraphon Warriors, and of course much more dynamic, because the older Seraphon Warriors, they're basically just standing there with their shield and their spear or their clubs. So much more dynamic. Of course, I imagine these will be sort of monopose. You probably won't be able to put them together in any which way you want. They probably only go together one way, but I'm willing to sacrifice that for these poses and just the overall look of these. I think they are amazing. Yeah. So far we've only seen them with clubs, right? I imagine they would come with spears too, because that's the whole thing usually, at least with Saurus Warriors. They either come with spears or clubs. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so here down here you can see some with spears. You can't see the entirety of the spear, but you can see they are holding spears. And so it says here, almost all Seraphon come in 2 varieties, the Flesh and Blood Coalesced and the Phantasmal Starborn. These detailed pack miniatures look amazing when painted to represent either. That green Saurus Warrior also makes us feel very nostalgic. Okay, cool. And this release will be supported by a new battle tome, which means it's time to update the roadmap, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it says they will be coming out in summer. I don't want to wait for summer, I want them now. Oh well. Oh, and it says here, that's not all Seraphon can look forward to in 2023. This teaser is just the crest of an enormous wave of righteous reptiles poised to wash over the mortal realms. Yes! Oh, yes. I really hope we get new Razordons and Salamanders then, in that case, if I can make a wish. That would be so cool. More Seraphon. I'm so excited. Yeah, yay! Great. We have a little bit more. We have some stuff for Warcry called Bloodhunt. Monastic vampires and fleshhound aficionados. Can you be an aficionado if you're a fleshhound? Oh, well, I suppose you can now. So we get 2 bloodthirsty new warbands pitted against each other in a spectacular explosion of claret alongside new Guri's terrain. This box set introduced 2 new warbands, the Askagan Trueblades and the Claws of Karanak. Okay, so here we get the Askagan Trueblades. And they are for the Soulblight Gravelords, and they are a order of warrior monks, just like any other vampire, but in order to sate their thirst, they hunt the great beasts of the realms, gorging themselves on primal energies and attempt not to succumb to their bestial tendencies. Okay, so they are not drinking blood from humans, but from beasts. I mean, to each their own, I suppose. They look cool. They look sort of like royalty almost, or something. And they have some nice poses. Oh, the one here on the left doesn't look royal. He looks barbaric, or sort of more wasted somehow than the other vampires. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I like the... Well, I don't know. Is it a werewolf, like, according to the lore? It looks like a werewolf. I kind of like that. It looks cool. Very dynamic. Very scary. And what, the one here on the right, is that, so he's got sort of a rope with hooks in it, so he can throw it at people, I suppose. That's a nice take. I like that new, I mean, it's not a weapon you see all the time, that's for sure. I don't know how effective it would be, like, in real life, but I'm sure a, you know, a vampire can make it work. They can make everything work. Oh, this one over here also has one of those. Cool. And then opposing them are the Claws of Karanak mortals who worship the demonic flesh hounds of Khorne. These savage warriors have abandoned the last vestiges of civilization, even loping into battle on all fours. Okay. So these are just sort of really, really enthusiastic about flesh hounds. I can respect that. I think that's respectable. Sure. So, okay, so he's got a mask and everything, sort of like the, like Karanak and yeah, that's cool. They look very beastly. Very Cornish. Is this the guy down here? Is it still a... Yeah, it's still a guy. Oh, look. Okay, so the whole flesh hound face is actually just a mask. You can see his human face underneath. And you can actually... Okay, you can also see here on his front leg that is... well, his arm, basically, that's touching the ground. That it's a folded fist. Okay. Huh. So he's sort of halfway between man and beast. That's pretty cool, actually. That's a nice concept. I like that design idea a lot. Yeah, okay. So there are different degrees of flesh houndiness going on. They look cool. Absolutely. And it comes with some of the new, more of the new terrain, some bamboo stick stuff. I mean, it looks fine. It does. It's just, I'm not, yeah, it's not really for me, the whole bamboo-y thing. But I'm sure other people really, really love it. Very cool. Then we have a new tank for the Horus Heresy. The Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer. Okay, cool. And it has one job, blowing up other tanks. I like that. That's nice and simple. Yeah, absolutely. And I like that it's called Cerberus, like the three-headed hound from Greek mythology. And so it has got 3 of these huge cannons here. So that's probably supposed to be like its three-headed menace sort of thing, and that's why it's called Cerberus, perhaps. It looks cool. I wonder how big it is. It looks big. At least I mean, the guns look really big. Cool. I like that. And then the last thing we have is for a kill team, and it's called Soul Shackle. So we have here the Adeptus Arbiters are back, dispensing the Emperor's justice. All that stands between them and their target is the knotted topography of the Gallowdark and the Hand of the Archon, a savage band of Drukhari Cabalites. Okay, so the Adeptus Arbiters Exaction Squad is an elite team of Imperial agents with one job: to secure their target and let no one stand in their way. Okay, so these are people who are sort of like elite law enforcement type troops. Okay, cool. Yeah. They look halfway medieval, halfway sci-fi to me. Like, I don't... It's not, yeah, I mean, they look cool. I mean, they look cool. I like, they look cool. It's just, I'm a little bit baffled, perhaps, by the design here. Yeah, I don't quite know exactly how I feel about them. I mean, I can see they're definitely well done. There's no question about that. It's just, like, look at this guy on the top here. He sort of looks like, yeah, a medieval evil knight from fantasy or something, right? And then you have the other guy down here on the left with a, you know, a gun and stuff. Also look at the helmets. They look sort of like helmets you would wear as a knight going into a jousting tournament or something. That is a... okay, that's... Love the hairdo on this guy. Yeah. This, yeah, I mean, I'm slightly baffled, I think. Slightly confused. Which is not the same as not liking it. It's just, I think I need a little bit more time to process the whole thing. But yeah, awesome. I mean, every time you get a new warband for anything like Kill Team or something, that's cool. Especially, I mean, it's not like we can make fun of the, you know, new lieutenant for the Space Marines. We have so many of these. We don't have a lot of Adeptus Arbiters. So I think this is definitely nice that we are getting a whole new squad. And then arrayed then against them are a cruel band of Soulblight Warriors. With a packed upgrade sprue, you can make a range of specialists, including an Arch Cyberite, Crimson Duelist, and even a Sky Splinter Assassin. Okay, so these are not new models per se, but they come with an upgrade sprue. Okay. I always think it's perhaps not disappointing, but it's not quite as cool as getting like brand new models. So if you are two people who are going to be splitting the box and one, you know, I get one half, you get the other, it just feels, I don't know, like you're getting the better end of the deal if you get the one with the all new models somehow. I don't know why. It's just, I wish they would just do two new sets, two new kill teams when they did these sets. But yeah, it is what it is, and I think they look cool. I really like the paint job on these. I really, really like the way they make sort of the blue armor glow almost. This is, yeah, I really like the paint job on these. It's really cool. Yeah. And some really nice models. I don't know the squad that much in depth that I can tell what comes from the upgrade sprue and what comes from the original set. But yeah, they look cool. For sure. Oh, I like the little birdie. Look at the birdie. Aw, I want that one. I don't want the rest of the squad. I'm not that much into this army, but I like the bird. That's cool. Yeah. And it's a nice. What is she throwing? Is it like sort of grenades or something with the? Yeah, but it looks cool. I like that. Sure. Neat. And it comes here with also 50 new pieces of terrain, including breachable walls with push-out sections and a hololith days with an adorable 3D display board so your kill teams can play kill team while you're playing kill team. Okay, so that's very meta. That's cool. I actually think that's really fun. I'm usually not that enthusiastic about 40k terrain sets. I think they're all a bit samey, but I like the inclusion of, you know, a miniature kill team board. That's just fun. Okay, so that was the LVO reveals, and I have to say I think there's a lot of cool new stuff. For me, definitely the winner is the Seraphon. I mean, the Slan and the new cavalry and the warriors, and then I'm particularly excited about the fact that they said this is not all that Seraphon can look forward to. We are coming with even more stuff for them. And the only downside is I have to wait until summer, and I'm not very patient, but I really, really, really want these now. So that was the reveals. So that was a whole bunch of stuff, which is really cool. So what do you think? Is there something you really like, something you really don't like? What are your hopes, and especially what are your hopes for perhaps even more stuff for Seraphon? Let me know in the comments, and of course, if you like this video, remember to leave a like and perhaps even subscribing to the channel. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!